Previously on Stranger Things Season 3 during Episode 2 of Stranger Things Season 4. You know, in case you spent all of Episode 1 wondering where the Hopper was. We preemptively sinned Hopper surviving this, but now we can see in great detail precisely how much of the survives this is happening. We have explosion, big explosion, super deadly vaporizing electricity, and a fall from a height that I'm going to deem as unsurvivable. That brings your total to carry the 4, subtract the plot armor, 5 million portions of survives this. Redeemable as 1 sin. Someone wants me to believe that a single cupped hand can hold enough water to swallow pills without choking to death, and I'm not buying it.
You can't be out here. Get back inside.
I know it would have trampled all over the immaculate timing of the jump scare. Bravo, by the way. But how your job are you if she managed to get this close in the first place? Okay, we've got bright clothing, goofy sunglasses, and even goofier multicolored cap. But I just wish someone would spell out exactly what decade we're in.
I handpicked those for you in Hawkins.
That's a superficially sweet way of saying I couldn't afford / couldn't be bothered to get you an actual gift, so here's something free that will be dead in a few hours.
What's that?
It's nothing. It's just this painting I've been working on.
Cool.
Will's disappointed that Mike doesn't seem all that impressed by the rolled up piece of brown paper he himself just described as nothing.
I want today to be about me and you.
That's why I brought these 3 other guys with me to the airport, so today can just be about me and you. It's so thoughtful of Murray to pick a flight with an arrival time close enough to Mike so that the production team could execute this nifty scene handoff. Hulk Hogan.
But I'm having this problem where it's like I should stop talking. I have said everything I need to say.
The MCU after 2019.
The most beautiful creature I have ever seen in my life.
Forest Hills Trailer Park.
Forget news position, which I'll send you here for in a second. Why is this television in a video rental store hooked up to cable or an antenna? Shouldn't these TVs just be hooked up to VCRs for displaying movies available to rent? What use would a video rental store have for network television? Also, news position. Sudden vomiting. Yes, this encounter's already running and will continue to run through this narration as punishment for this immediate cut to the chunkiest of spew fests.
Hawkins student got murdered.
What?
Yeah, it's on every channel.
And yet everyone we see watching the news in 3 different locations is watching Channel 9. None of these trespassing and underage drinking teens scatter at the sound of these approaching sirens.
I don't think anyone's going to care about the basketball game anymore.
Underestimating how much your average American cares about literally anything sport-related.
Would you be up for a field trip?
Sure, but only if we walk down the hall with a look of conviction in our eyes as we burst through the school doors, capped off with the camera panning away into a bright light. Yeah.
In the meantime, we recommend you keep your doors and windows locked tight.
Damn it, Dustin. The TV just told you to keep all the doors and windows locked. By the look on your face, you didn't even check to see who was at the door before blindly opening it. You're adorable, kid, but that doesn't make you...
The look on his face. He was scared, Dustin.
Not telling anyone about your apparent superpower of spotting facial expressions covered by long curls in the dark from your neighboring trailer.
Something else killed her.
But that's impossible, right?
I don't know. It should be.
Thinking anything is impossible on your 4th go-around with from the upside down.
There's only one person who knows what actually happened.
Eddie.
Well, technically Chrissy does too. But yeah, I can see why you're making Eddie the priority. Speak with dead never goes to plan.
I didn't see a body.
Because he evaporated.
Confusing evaporation for disintegration. Hopper didn't instantly become part of the water cycle, Murray.
You're going to find out who the hell sent you that letter.
But we're doing it my way.
Expecting me to believe that all of this sensitive electronic equipment survived the absolute trauma of a journey that your average stowed luggage takes.
Unless you tell me she's wearing a Russian uniform.
That's a surprisingly good Harrison Ford impersonation, Hop. I'd remove a sin if I thought this scene was intentionally written or performed that way. Words cannot express my extreme disappointment at the lack of an elephant in this scene. Okay, we've got Dead or Alive playing in the background. We've got neon clothing. We've got roller skates. But will someone please, once and for all, just explicitly spell out what decade we're in?
I asked for vomit green and I got vomit green. Isn't that awesome?
Having expectations so low that this qualifies as awesome.
It seems like the snitch has a boyfriend.
Is Elle even a snitch, though? She told the teacher that Angela had nothing to do with it. Being a bad liar isn't the same as being a snitch.
Look, I'm sure it's nothing, all right? Probably the neighbors complaining about the noise or some shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'd send 3 cop cars, including the sheriff, to address a noise complaint the morning after it was filed. You know, to stop all the noise after it's finished.
What does Eddie have to do with all this? Did that freak hurt her? He hurt Chrissy? Did he hurt Chrissy?
Here, let me fix this scene to avoid inciting a mob. There's no evidence to support that, Jason. Innocent until proven guilty is 100% a thing. We have no idea if Eddie was even involved. You shouldn't immediately run off and assemble an angry mob to attack him. Literally say anything, officers. Ah.
Oh, Eddie. Your new best friend, Eddie, you think it's cooler than me because he plays your nerdy game?
Being 19 years old and expressing this much concern that your 15-year-old buddy has a new 19-year-old to hang out with.
Well, first of all, you're not Jonathan.
Jonathan.
We're restricting access to residents only.
Her mom is working today, and we would really like to check in on her.
We're basically her nanny.
This works.
Okay, what was that? I said act casual.
Sorry.
Character has an extremely graphic and specific hallucination in a town where graphic and specific hallucinations literally come to life, kill people, and blow up malls, but chooses to say nothing. Cliché. Thinking that guns make a fart noise when you fire them. He knows they don't, right? It's very important to me that he knows guns outside of Minions movies don't make fart noises.
Because if I told her the truth, then she'd just throw her dreams out the window to come out here and be with me.
I know you've got to do something with the whole long-distance Nansonathan thing, but did it have to be so very much Saved by the Bell by way of Friends?
This next song is dedicated to Jane, the local snitch.
Angela pulled off a well-executed bully routine on amazingly short notice. She managed to bribe the DJ, retrieve a camcorder, and choreograph this swirling tornado of insults on skates. Pretty impressive considering she had no f***ing idea Elle was even going to be here.
Wipe out!
You see, Elle's carry in the chocolate shake is a PG-13 bucket of pig's blood. It's like Stephen King, but dialed up to 11. Mike has, with help, fought off multiple world-ending scenarios, but is prevented from getting to Elle by a couple of teens on wheels lightly crowding him.
Okay, you are now calling from Durham, North Carolina.
Murray accidentally inventing spam call centers.
He was strong American. Perhaps the motherland could use that strength.
So what we're saying here is that because Hopper has survived torture so far, they're going to quit the torture, give up on any information he might have about what screwed their plans in Hawkins, and instead of killing him, put him to work at a labor camp of some sort? Wow, the KGB really wanted him in season 4, didn't they?
Then let's go on some free!
Engaging in vigilantism without a cool costume. Everybody knows vigilantes only get away with their extrajudicial activities because of the sweet threads and gadgets.
Apparently Eddie gets his drugs from some guy named Reefer Rick.
Fun name and all, but we already know Eddie does more drugs than just reefer. And if he buys multiple drugs from Reefer Rick, then a decent dealer would have a name that properly reflected that. Plus, Narcotics Ned sounds much cooler.
Rick Alderman's latest rentals are Annie and Dumbo. What are the chances our drug dealer has a family?
Not likely.
Assuming a drug dealer can't like Disney movies. Do you even Fantasia, bro? Netflix trying to create a revisionist history where adventuring teens closing up shop early are to blame for the fall of video rental stores and not a certain streaming service.
I'm Nancy Wheeler from the Hawkins Tiger.
Wait, I'm confused. The Tigers are the school mascot. The name of the newspaper you work for is the Weekly Streak. Why would she say she's from the school mascot?
I've talked to enough reporters.
All of whom have politely decided to desert the entire trailer park despite the lady from Channel 9 saying they'd be there all day with breaking updates.
Nancy, come on, let's get out of here.
But he's just the cutest little witness.
Crack reporter Nancy has time for this.
You're Wayne Munson, aren't you?
Nancy and Fred doing the actual journalistic hard work of knocking down doors for a big scoop is immediately undermined by stumbling upon Eddie's uncle completely alone, unprotected by the police. Because, let's be real, who enjoys seeing hard work pay off when random chance is right there?
Let me tell your side of the story.
To a school newspaper with a solid readership of 12 to 15 people.
You think you know who might have done this?
You ever hear the name Victor Creel?
Whoa, this is a huge swing that ends up being much closer to the truth than it has any right to be. Nancy isn't a good reporter. She just made a pact with a luck demon or some
Like that, what's his name, the white mask, and killed the babysitters.
Michael Myers?
Considering who ends up playing Victor Creel, that kind of horror legacy blasphemy is a quick way to a nighttime visit from a certain Mr. Krueger.
Joyce, whoever Enzo is, the answer is not on that tape.
The answer will, of course, be on the tape.
She's mad at Enzo, calls him a moosar.
Moosar.
It's slang,
For what?
often directed at cops.
Cops?
or guards.
Showmate Enzo smart enough to arrange this clandestine phone call, but dumb enough to attend it in his full guard uniform.
You made it super clear that you're not interested in anything I have to say.
It looks like she shit herself.
It does not. It looks like she had a milkshake poured over her. Although now I'm wondering what Angela's frame of reference is for this clearly lived observation.
Angela!
While I have no sympathy for Angela, I do appreciate that the show doesn't treat this as a triumphant moment, but rather as a shocking one. Elle's explosion is understandable, but it's clear that braining a girl will have consequences, and that's the kind of nuance I can get on board with. Take your sin removal before reliving that soul-shaking skate thunk to the skull changes my mind.
This is my friend Max, the one who never wants to play D&D.
This is how you choose to introduce Max to the volatile dungeon master who's already threatened one of your friends at Broken Bottle Point? Are you trying to get her killed?
We just want to talk.
Reaching for the broken glass bottle being wielded by a man who is clearly in shock. Are you trying to get stabbed?
Did you maybe see him leave with somebody, or...
I told you kids to go home. Jesus Christ.
No, you didn't, asshat. You told them they could visit Max and then just assumed all would be well. You let them roam around the entire trailer park, knocking down doors for the entire day, and apparently didn't notice.
It was like she was in a trance or something.
Or under a spell. A curse. Vecna's curse.
It is kind of wild that there are so many similarities between your D&D game and the you end up facing from the upside down. At this point, I'd at least start asking some questions about how close to a Jumanji situation we're looking at here. No, I don't care that it's the 80s and Jumanji hasn't happened yet. Also, choosing a chump like Vecna for this season's D&D monster instead of picking a total Chad like Strahd. Whoever set the design brief for Vecna as kinda hot, but with the aesthetic of Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, merged with Emotep from The Mummy Returns. This confusing boner is on you, my friend. Figuratively.
Oh! You brained him.
I don't want to go.
I'm not dead!
Mother hush bucket.
And it wasn't like a cheap fake laugh either. It was like...
It's real!
This woman, who is she?
You son of a bitch.
You ever hear the name?
Spring Boob Squire Pin.
Nothing can stop the...